Hello everybody, welcome back to another one of my videos. This is one that I've been waiting to do for a while now because they're kind of getting a bit too big to not showcase, I guess. So this is one of my first plant collection videos, and in this video we're going to be looking at my Anthurium. So this is the problem. As you can see, I have quite a few now, and yeah, I just wanted to show off all of my Anthurium. I don't have many, but the ones I do have, I really like. So, without further ado, let's do the Anthurium tour! Well, I guess let's just talk a little bit about my Anthurium collection then. So I've had Anthurium now, I think the longest one I've had has been 3 years. So I was relatively new to these. I still kind of am relatively new to these, and I'm still learning loads about them. But they just really got my interest at the moment. Like, they really caught my eye. Some of my smaller ones have started to size up a lot now, and they're getting like all their really nice mature features. And yeah, I just wanted to show you around what I've got, and I think I counted in total 8 Anthurium I have. So actually not that many compared to some people who have like 50 or 100, right? But the ones I have, I really like. Just being really careful with my collection nowadays and only buying things that like I really like. So there is going to be a plant haul in this video, but only one plant, so bear that in mind. I know I said I wouldn't buy any more plants, but we all know that was a lie. So let's start off with, in I think date order, so the plants that I got the earliest, the plants I got the latest. So the first one I'm going to start with is one I actually forgot about. Oh my god, it's huge. So this one is an Anthurium Silver Blush. This was probably back in 2020, I think it was 2022 actually. It's like one of the first plants that I ever put in my cabinet, and as you can tell, it has she has sized up a little bit since then, and there's multiple growth points in here, as well as I think there's like 4 plants in this one pot, but I really like how compact and like bushy it looks. This one's just grown in like room humidity, general room conditions. There are some yellow leaves, but that's always to be expected, I find, on like Anthurium, things like that. But yeah, she's doing really well. I did have her under some grow lights, but now I just have it out in the open. So that's the first one I got. Another thing I'd like to mention in this video are the pots I use. So I just use these clear kind of like square pots, and because they have like the big holes in the sides and the bottom, it allows a lot of airflow. And they seem to do really well in these pots. So yeah, that's my plant number 1. And the roots are crazy in here. And yeah, it really does probably need a repot, but I don't think I have a bigger pot than this. So for now, it will stay in there. And yeah, that's number 1. So that was a garden centre plant, relatively cheap when I bought it, and quite small when I bought it, but I think if you're looking for like a easier like beginner Anthurium, that's a really good one to start with. It's not my personal favourite in the foliage, because like I think it's meant to be quite like sparkly. And the leaves, I don't know if they're meant to size up more, and they're just not in my conditions. But it's more of like a compact, smaller leafed Anthurium, I would say, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, that was the first one I ever got, so she's still alive. And then on to my next plant. So the next lot of plants I got were sent to me, 2 of them were sent to me from Facebook Marketplace as like a bundle, and these were probably only like this big, like seedling size when I got them, and they were both sent to me from the same guy. The first one I showed in my 2023 favorites plant video, and I'll insert a clip here of what that plant used to look like a year ago, and now I'll show you what it looks like now. So let me go get it because it's a monster. Okay, so this is my Anthurium Crystal Sky, mix between Bessier Af and Crystallinum. This is how big it's got in 2 years since that video. It's growing in semi-hydro. Let me turn it around this way maybe. You can see here. That's the only thing I don't like about these plastic pots, is the fact that it's really hard to find a cover pot for this shape. Luckily I did have this square one from my nan, but yeah, it kind of needs, like, if I size it up, I'm gonna need to find a like much larger square cover pot to act as a reservoir. And yeah, it is, the roots on this are again, ooh. Oh. There is a little bit of a rotten root under there, just the one. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, but the rest of the roots look really good. Again, this was in my cabinet up until probably a few months, 6, 7, 8 months, and it's doing fine. This is the newest leaf outside of my cabinet, and it's doing really, really nice. Doing well. There's a second plant in there too. I grow this in, I can't remember what brand of pon it is, but it's like the chunky pon. So I don't really like the Lacusa, however you say it. I don't really like that pon. That's just my experience though. And yeah. Something has been like damaging this leaf as well, and I literally don't know what the hell it is because I've been spraying it like every week and I've been looking at it and I cannot see any pests on it at all, so I'm just like really confused. I think what it might have been is actually green fly. So I had like a little bit of an infestation of green fly in my other plants surrounding it. So I don't know whether they're just having like a nibble on the leaf when it's coming out or what. But it's still really nice, so I'm not going to complain. And it's also got an inflow coming out at the moment here that I've just kind of left on to see what happens. I could collect the pollen, but I don't think I will. But yeah, that's 2. Just that one, for clarity as well. Can you believe how much I paid for this? £10 I paid for this plant. This plant, insane. But yeah, it was a seedling, and again, if you can get it, I would. Very cool plant. Maybe needs slightly less light. Some of the leaves, like this one, seem to have a little bit of like bleaching from my grow light, but I'm gonna see how the new one grows in for now, and I'm just hoping that was it adjusting when I took it out of the cabinet to the brighter light, so we'll see. On to my third Anthurium. So this one was also in the same package parcel as the Crystal Sky, and this one is a very famous one around the web, and it's a Magnificum times Luxurians. let me show you what she's looking like. Here she is. This is the newest leaf. Some of the leaves are looking a little bit crazy. I have that problem a lot with my Anthurium, that the leaves will tend to face like different directions, but I'm constantly moving them around, so maybe that's my fault. But yeah, this one, slower grower than the Crystal Sky. If you want like a fast growing plant, the Crystallinum times Bessiaf is definitely the one I would pick. That one grows like crazy. But this one's taking the same amount of time to get this leaf this big, but I just love the colour on this one. When that gets that like, oh, that like oil slick, glossy, dark green is possibly one of my favourite things about this plant. And again, I have it in a plastic pot. It hasn't got as many roots as my other ones, but I have recently repotted it, so that's why. And yeah, really healthy again. And yeah, that's my third plant so far. I forgot to mention that Magnificum times Luxurians was £25. So that and the Crystal Sky together was £35, which is insane to think about now. And that might be another tip from me. Not that I'm like any professional to give out advice, but if you really want like an Anthurium and you're willing to wait a couple years, buy them small because they're so much cheaper. And I also feel like they acclimatize way better if you grow a plant from like a baby. And yeah, just buy them as seedlings or maybe slightly bigger than seedlings. And yeah, just acclimatize them to your space. And it will be just worth your investment, like, trust me. The fourth plant that I'm going to show you is a papillimonum mixed with a no ID. This one was from eBay and it cost me £30. This one was a tiny little seedling. Again, I'll try and show you a photo of it when I got it. And this is it now. It's so nice. All the leaves on this one are kind of like pointing like up because it's in my cabinet and obviously the light is coming down from the top. I'd rather them sit like more like flat like that, but you know, that's just part of the part and parcel of having them under a grow light. This one also has 2 plants in it coming through. This always happens to me on Anthurium. I feel like I'm just lucky. And I recently repotted this one because I think it was in semi-hydro before this. And I had some moss on top of the semi-hydro, and instead of like trying to take all that moss off and put it back into a bigger pot of semi-hydro, I just didn't even want to risk losing the roots to like rot because that moss just was like bonded to the roots. So I just put it in soil. I find soil easier in my conditions. Semi-hydro, to me, I would forget probably to fill it up, and my soil mix is also really nice, so I'm gonna stick to what works for me. You guys stick to what works for you. Everyone knows their own stuff, you know, better. But yeah, this is my no ID. If anyone has any idea what this papillimonum is crossed with, please leave a comment down below because I have no idea. I feel like it's gotta be something crystalline-y, like something with the white veins. Because this has like really like pronounced veins, and it's even got like the one going around the edge, which makes me think it is like a crystallinum or something of that kind of variety. But yeah, it grows so easily, and every other Anthurium I have has like a bit of damage or like a hole or like something not quite perfect with it, but this one is just like, it's immaculate. I don't know why. But maybe like crossbreeds are tougher? I don't know. But yeah, she's really pretty. And that's her. I love her. I love this one so much. Oh, stunning. Stunning. I'm also, yeah, like I said, I'm doing these in date order. So I got that one on eBay after I got my ones from Facebook. And then onto the most money honestly still the most money I've ever spent on a plant. So this was probably in the middle of like the houseplant boom, right? Or just after it in 2023. I got this for my birthday, hence why I didn't mind spending the money on it. But now it's like half the price I paid. So I paid £180, though bearing in mind this was like a full plant with big leaves. It had 3 big leaves, it was rooted, and I got this at the Equigenera pop-up that comes around my town every year. And this was the first time I went there, and it was the first plant I actually bought from there. So anyway, let me show you what plant cost £180. You might know, you might not. But it's here. Oh, it's heavy. So, very famous plant nowadays. The pure, apparently, Anthurium papillaminum. This one was a plant I wanted for so long because I love a dark leaf Anthurium. I know it's probably one of the only dark leaf ones I've got, but this leaf here made it worth the investment initially, and I have saved some pollen, so maybe I can get some babies from this in the future. It came to me, the import plant, initially lost like both its lower leaves, and then its one big leaf it was like hanging onto also dropped. So I would bear that in mind in an import plant as well, especially Anthurium. You may end up losing most, if not all of the leaves, but it's definitely gonna come back if you treat it right. So the stem on this is like crazy long. Here, just here, it's like, yeah, it's like got a massive stem in there. So I kind of do want to like chop it and chonk it and like propagate the chunks. But then it gave me this really nice leaf, so now I don't want to chop it up, but I will probably end up chopping this up at some point. Because yeah, no one wants that like ugly long stem. Like it happens a lot on like alocasia and like Anthurium, things like that. And it's very bold. She's bold on top. But yeah, I might pack it with moss and chop it that way. Because the stem itself actually goes like really far down in this pot. But the roots look healthy again. She seems to be doing really well. There's a new leaf coming in here. I don't know if you can see that. And all the leaves are facing like crazy because it's like under 2 shelves. So some goes towards one light and some leaves go towards the other light, which is kind of annoying. I need to sort that out, but yeah. This is, I think, my favourite out of all of them. Again, you can see on this leaf here, there is a little bit of damage. I don't know whether it's pest damage, some of it, or when the leaf was unfurling, I stupidly put it next to one of my cactus that has like the really hairy, spiky spines that like if you get them in your skin, they're really hard to get out. And in a few areas it did hit this leaf. So like here, like this corner, and like this side as well here. I had to like get all the spines out, and it ruined what otherwise would have been a really pretty leaf, which makes me sad, but it still looks pretty and I'm not that mad at it. I'm just mad at myself for being dumb and not moving that cactus sooner. But there's a little PSA for anyone out there growing Anthurium next to cactus, don't do it. But yeah, she's really nice. I can't wait to get like a perfect leaf on this, and I'm treating this baby leaf here. I'm treating it like a hawk. I'm watching it like a hawk, treating it like a baby, you know? I'm like spraying it down, make sure there's no pests, make sure it's not getting hit by anything. I think it's going to be a good one, so I'm very excited about that. And I might chop it eventually, but not yet. Onto another Equigenera pop-up haul plant. This one, oh, I was like, where did I put it? I don't know. Oh, there it is. This one you might have seen on my Instagram story if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, this is my name on Instagram. Give me a follow. I post a lot of different plant, vegetable, allotment, you name it, flowers, stuff on there, which you probably see before I do my videos. And this is, what is this? Like, actually, I don't know what the hell happened to this plant. So, I got it. I don't know what year I got it in. Probably a couple years ago, like not that long ago. And it had 3 really, really nice dark green leaves. I'll put them on the screen. This is what they looked like. And I was like, oh wow, you know, hopefully they stay on the plant. Because it was an import, they didn't. So I lost all them leaves, which is fine. I knew it would come back because the roots were healthy. And then it put out this leaf. And I was like, what the hell have I done? Like, and then it put out this leaf. And then it put out this leaf. So I thought something's wrong with it, right? It's got pests. Something's been eating this leaf. Like, it looks like spider mite damage almost. But then I checked it, I sprayed it, and no. Healthy leaf as well. Like, it's a really nice, solid leaf. But it has like a really weird texture actually. It's not like smooth, it's like bumpy. But yeah, I thought something's wrong with this plant. Like, is it nutrient deficiency? I have no idea. Maybe it's getting too much light as well. And then the next leaf, just all light green. And I thought again, okay, like maybe it's, you know, nutrient deficiency. I like kept feeding it, I kept watering it. And no, I think it's literally just like some weird variegation. I know a lot of people like variegated Anthurium, but that's not for me. I want to see variegated plants in themselves. I know it's like controversial maybe, but I'm not a fan of variegation. I don't think I own like any variegated plants, which is kind of, no, I do own some actually. I got a variegated bear paw, but I think that's cute. I think that might actually like be it as far as like rare, even though it's not really that rare, but rare variegated plants. So like I don't have like an elbow, I don't have a Thai constellation, or any of like any variegated alocasia, no variegated Anthurium, nothing like that. Well, I guess now maybe, but I don't know what happened. Anyone knows about it, please let me know, because it weirded me out like for so long. And I personally believe the big green leaves like this look so much better than that speckly white leaf. There is still a little bit of variegation on the bottom of this, but I think it's growing out of the plant now, thank God. And there is a new leaf coming as well. So it looks like it's not variegated, thank God, which is lucky. And oh, I literally haven't even told you what the plant is yet. This is from Equigenera again, and it is a Anthurium David Portilla Dreams inverse crossing. So this is a specific hybrid that only Equigenera make, and it's Anthurium Forgetii crossed with an Anthurium luxurians. So you can see the luxurians in it, and then the sinus is meant to be fused as well, like a Forgetii. And I think the difference between this one, the inverse crossing, and the non-inverse crossing is you get the darker leaves with the more veination, but I'm not really sure about that. So if anyone knows better than me, please do school me on that. But yeah, what a weird plant. Let's just hope it continues to grow these nice green leaves. Feels a bit dry actually. I think I need to give it water too. Another one that I got from the Equigenera pop-up was an Anthurium pallidiflorum. So a lot of people have this plant now, and I absolutely love, I just love it. I love them plants. But mine, as with every other Anthurium I've got from Equigenera, lost all its leaves. They all went yellow, and they all, well, I just got rid of them. And you know what I did? I chopped it up because I was like, I'm starting from fresh, and I paid, I think, oh, I actually don't know how much I paid for it. I think it might have been 50 to 80 pounds, something like that, for this plant. Because it had like quite long leaves, like they were really nice leaves. But yeah, I thought whatever, chop it up. I'm not wasting time growing out this chunk, which has like a really long stem and like no leaves on it. And yeah, so this is what I got from my cuttings. So I've got the one plant here, which is doing really well now, starting to like pop off a little bit. And I also have this one. Oh my god. There we go. So I ended up with 2 plants, well 3 actually. But I sold a seedling the other day, so I've only got the 2 now. And I think it was the best decision I made to chop it up. It does take patience though, because like I said, it took a while for them to get this big. And they kind of like, I think how long it took. It probably took about 2 years for them to grow from a chunk like this big, like a twig like this big, to this size. So if you want to bear that in mind, to get a leaf this big, it took 2 years. But you know what? I am patient sometimes and it's worth it. And I can see it sizing up really quickly now once the roots are like established. So they were, yeah, they were the, I forgot which number I'm on now, but they were definitely worth it. And I love seeing everyone's really big, long, velvety pendant anthuriums on YouTube, so I can't wait to get one myself. And I'll probably put these 2 together to make a really nice full pot as well, if I feel like it. I'll see what I feel like at the time, but yeah, that's it for them. On to my last Anthurium, which is kind of sad. This is number 8, I think. So these are seedlings. I grew these from actual like seeds, like berries, and they are Anthurium bakeri, however you say it, seedlings. That's what they look like. These were grown, yeah, like I said, from seeds, and they're only just starting to get like 4 leaves now, so they're only like 1 tiny leaf to start with, and I just grew them in a little tub like this, just full of some semi-hydro rocks in the bottom and then moss on top and a bit of water in the bottom. and they actually all sprouted. So I have 6 of these, and I'm selling some of the seedlings. One's already gone, hopefully the rest will go soon, and I'm keeping 2 for myself. I love the look of the mature plant of this one. It's kind of like a mix between like a pendant plant and a leafy plant, if that makes sense. It has these like big, thick, strappy leaves, but they're not like that long. Keeping it in my cabinet at the moment, and I hope it will size up really quickly for me, because I would love a nice big plant of this. So yeah, that's my last Anthurium. So I'm back a little bit later than I previously planned to come back, because just a lot has gone down lately, and not to get too like dark or sad, but my cat got in a road accident, so obviously that took priority. She's fine, she's just sleeping now, and yeah, luckily she's alive, and that's literally like all that matters. So anyway, now that I know everything's good, I can actually get on and finish this video. So I was saying in my previous clips that I was getting one more Anthurium in the mail, and I may have got 2, but they're from different sellers, and I bought the one I really wanted, and then I saw another one for sale for like a relatively like cheap price for what it is, and I thought I'm gonna snap that up. So let me go through probably what are going to be my 2 favourite ever Anthuriums. So you can probably see them here actually, so spoilers. But let's go with the cheaper one first. So this first one I got is a Anthurium BVIT. So that's black velvet but Indo type. So this is the Indonesian version. Obviously the reason that I wanted it was for the very dark foliage. Let me give you a little look of what this plant looks like. So it came, oh my god, there's loads of water in there, okay. So it arrived to me in this kind of DIY pot, and it's currently in moss and perlite, and honestly the plant is so healthy. And this is the new emergent leaf here. Don't know if you can see that. And it also has 2 other really healthy leaves, so very happy with how this turned out. And this was only £60. I know that's a lot for a small plant, but I think for a kind of like specialty Anthurium that's not bad, especially because like the seedling's quite big, I would say. I don't know if it's just me that thinks this, but I've seen online that maybe like the EP is more desirable than like the BVIT, but I just wanted to grow this one and see what it looks like. The person on eBay that I actually got this from was called botany.cal, so I'll put their address on the screen, and I have to give them props because it is a very healthy plant, and it arrived just really well packaged, really well looked after. And I also put the mother plant, what this came from, on the screen. I love it when they do that, when they take a photo of the mother plants, because you know you're not being like scammed or anything, and you also know like what genetics this could possibly like take on. And the one thing I really liked about the mother plant was like, I find the BVIT have like the more elongated dark leaves, and it has like a slight red or yellow tinge to the veination, which I'm really looking forward to. And it's also coming in like the emergent leaf is coming in a very like pretty like reddy peachy colour, so I really like that. And yeah, that's one that I got, which I'm really excited to grow. And then I said about the BVEP and the BVIT, I wanted both. So So this was actually the first one I bought. So this is a BVEP Anthurium. They're also known as the Anthurium, I think named after the creator of the like original one. I can't quite remember his name, but I know it's something Anthurium. Hence why a lot of the Anthurium have RA in front of them, because it's like his initials. Hi everyone, editing Kayleigh here. I do now realise that it's pronounced Anthurium, so sorry for me keep saying Anthurium in this video, and it was indeed Rory Anthurium who founded this plant in Panama originally. Hence, if you got a plant with RA before it, you know that it's come from his personal collection. So this plant I got from Anthurium. I'll again link her and put her on the screen. And this one was a little bit more pricey than the previous one. I don't really like spending a lot of money on plants, but if I know it's one that I'm really never going to get the chance to get again, and one that I know I will absolutely love, I'll do it like once a year. So this is probably like the most expensive plant I'm going to buy this year, and it was £100, which is crazy, I know. But I hope it's worth it, because look at this plant. Look at them leaves. They're already stunning. They're like so shimmery and just like lush. I love it. Let me tell you about what type of Anthurium this is. So I actually had to write this down because I knew I wouldn't remember it. So the mother plant that had the inflow on it, the plant that was pollinated, were two types of Anthurium, an R88 and an R89, from this Anthurium guy, and they were crossed with the pollen parent, which was an Anthurium Blackwell, which is a specific clone from Scott Cohen. So Scott Cohen made this Blackwell, and Anthurium came from like the original breeder, and these two plants crossed together were crossed by a guy called Sam Rossi, who I think supplies the Anthurium. So a little bit complicated, but this plant and this plant are combined to hopefully make a really pretty plant. So the RA8 cross and the RA9 cross have like slightly different features to the Blackwell. The Blackwell still beautiful dark foliage, but the RA8 and RA9 have like a red veination going on, and I really hope I get that in this seedling. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just the really dark foliage, the big pillowy leaves, and the like slight red veination. That would be like my perfect plant, to be honest. And yeah, it's not often something like this comes around, so I was really happy to get my hands on one, because I keep looking at a lot of different dark Anthurium, and they always tend to be like either stupidly priced, like really expensive. It's just hard to get your hands on a good one from like a reputable source. So the Anthurium had some really like beautiful Anthurium on the website, and I think there is actually one of these left for slightly more expensive one, but this was the last one actually at the time, so I was like, I gotta get it. I kept thinking about it and then I got it, so I guess early birthday present for me. But yes, that is the update. Those are the two new Anthurium that I got my hands on, so that will probably be enough Anthurium for me in the short term, and possibly the long term, because I have no room and they grow really fast. So yes. Some notes on Anthurium that I just like to share with you all is they feel like they take a while to establish, but once they size up, they're like sizing up really quickly, and they do require quite a lot of space which isn't the best for me because now they're all outgrowing my cabinet. When they're like this big, I was like, yeah, I can get loads. But now I'm like, oh my god, where am I gonna put them all? But I'll find, you know, I'll find room. It's fine. It's fine. And yeah, also the mix that I have my Anthurium in is like one, I think I saw it from, is it Anthurium Arthur? I hope I've said that right, but if not, here it is on Instagram, and he has like a link to the mix he uses for his, and I thought it sounded really good, so I kind of used his recipe myself, and it's a mix of tree fern fibre, pumice, orchid bark, and charcoal, I think, charcoal as well. I'll just put it up here. And I'll link it in the description as well for you guys if you want to see what that is, because it's worked honestly like wonders for me, and my plants never really seem to have any issues in that mix, because it's like really nice and airy, but like also the roots love it. They love, like, it holds on to some of that moisture really well too. And I was thinking to myself as well, because I watch a lot of YouTubers, obviously, and a lot of them struggle like with Anthurium. Obviously I haven't had like a completely stress-free time with them, don't get me wrong, but they haven't really been an issue for me either. Like the odd pest, the odd like bit of damage here and there, but I've never like had one go, well, bar when I imported them, but I've never really had one go like downhill. And I was thinking about it, like, why, what am I doing? What am I doing that's working, you know? I also just think it's the fact I'm an overwaterer. I've said it before on my videos, but yeah, I looked up, I looked into Anthuriums, and one of the things they like is like, they need a lot of water, right? They like to stay, not like a lot of water, like don't soak them all the time, but yeah, they like to be moist quite a lot of the time. And I think that me watering them, and also like the pots with that soil mix, is like working out like perfectly for me. So there you go, if you want to know or have a go at doing what I do, that might be it. But also my lounge itself is like quite cool, even on like a hot summer, like say it's 35 degrees outside. In here I don't even think it would be like over 25, honestly. I think that suits them as well somehow. I don't know what the actual like real advice is for temperatures on these plants, but for me, this like cooler room with the grow lights and like the roots not drying out that much all the time seems to be working well. So there you go. If you wanted to try that, go ahead. And yeah, I think that's really all I've got to say on Anthurium. Obviously I don't have like as many as some people do, but the ones I have I love, and I do need to like find dedicated spaces for them all because I all love them so much. So thank you all for watching my video. Like I said earlier, feel free to follow my Instagram, follow me on there for more updates. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment on this video. I will be doing more of my plant genus tours, if that makes sense. So I might do like a philodendron update or like a Hoya update in the future, just because I feel like you guys don't really know much about my collection as a whole. And I was even thinking about doing a walkthrough at some point as well to show you what I have. It's not that amazing, so don't get your hopes up too much, but yeah, if you're interested in that, just let me know, and I will see you all in my next video. So thank you all for watching, have a great day, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!